and welcome back to Shakil's physics classes. We go on to see a new topic today, Euler's equation for unidirectional flow. So here, this is a continuation of Bernoulli's theorem, which we have seen last class, wherein I said the total sum of total energy, which is the sum of pressure energy plus kinetic energy and potential energy of a flowing liquid in streamline motion remains a constant. That is where we stopped last class, and we continue from there, and the new topic today is this. So what does the diagram tell us? Here we are considering a very small element AB. AB is a small element of a flowing liquid. Rho, let us say rho be the density of the liquid. dA be the area of cross section of the element. ds be the length of the element. I repeat, here we consider a very small element AB of a flowing liquid whose density is rho, area of cross section is dA, ds is the length of the element. So since we have both area and length, we can easily write what is the volume of the element. Therefore I write volume of the element. Volume of the element is area into length. Area is dA, length is ds. Therefore area into length will give you volume of the element. Therefore we can also write what is the mass of the element. The mass of the element is density. Mass is volume times density. Therefore rho into dA into ds. That will give you mass of the element. I suppose you are following what I am saying. Once we have written what is the mass of the element, we can easily write what is the weight of the element. Weight of the element. This is if mass is multiplied by g, rho dA ds into g will give you weight of the element. So we have written volume of the element, mass of the element, weight of the element. Now let us consider this streamline motion. Okay, let us call this as D. Let CD be a streamline motion making an angle theta with the vertical at O. You can see here very clearly. CD, I am considering a streamline motion, and this is making an angle theta with the vertical at the point O. I repeat, you see from the diagram, it is obvious. The streamline CD is making an angle theta with the vertical at O. Therefore, we are going to now find out what is the component of weight of the element along the streamline. Component of weight of the element along the streamline of the element along the streamline. Therefore, see, if you consider this, if I extend this like this, okay, this becomes a right angle triangle, okay, and therefore this is cos theta. This is the adjacent side, okay, and therefore you have to find out the weight is acting along this direction. Now you have to find what is the component of weight along the streamline. Therefore along the streamline means it is adjacent side. Therefore, you have to multiply by cos theta. Therefore, I get this as equal to rho dA ds g into cos theta. For those of my friends who are not able to follow what I am saying, if this theta, this is the adjacent side, weight is acting along this. You follow what I am saying? You have to find what is its component along the streamline. Therefore, cos theta, if you take sin theta, it is going to be opposite side. Therefore, cos theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse, adjacent side is this, and therefore I have multiplied by cos theta. Is that okay to you? Now, let the pressure, I have already written here, at A, the pressure of the liquid at A, I have taken it as P. And the pressure at B, I have taken it as P plus dP by ds into ds. If you want, I will write, let the pressure at A be P and that at B be equal to P plus dP by ds into ds. Okay. So at A the pressure is P, at B the pressure is this much. So we can now find out what is the resultant force on the element. Resultant force on the element. I know pressure is force upon area. Therefore, pressure is force is pressure into area. Therefore, I will write this as equal to, at A, pressure is A, P, and the area of the element I have already told you it is D. Therefore, PDA. This is at A. Similarly, at B, minus, bracket open, P plus dP by ds into ds into dA. That will be the pressure resultant force at B. So this will be force at B. This is at A. Subtract one from the other, you are going to get the resultant. We'll try to subtract that. P dA minus P dA minus dP by ds into ds into ds. Is that okay to you? Now this plus dA minus dA will go off. This will go off to give me the resultant as equal to minus dP by ds into ds into dA. That is resultant force on the element. Now, this force, the negative side, what does it indicate? The negative side indicates that this force is directed in a direction from B to A against the flow of streamline. Please note the minus sign. What does it indicate? It indicates that the weight of the element is directed from B to A. Therefore, the net force we have to calculate. Net force on the element. This is the resultant force of the element. This force is directed from B to A. The component we have written here. Component of weight of the element along the streamline is this. This is acting in the direction of the streamline. Let me underline and tell you what I am trying to tell you. This amount of this weight, which is it again force, this is acting in the direction C to D. This one, resultant force, is acting in a direction from B to A. Mind you, one force is acting along this direction, the other one is acting along this direction. Which one is acting along this direction? Component of weight of the element along the streamline, rho dA ds g into cos theta, is acting along this direction. Resultant force of the element, because of the negative sign, it says that is acting in a direction opposite to the streamline. If you take this difference of these two, you will be able to arrive at net force acting on the element. The net force acting on the element. You need to subtract one from the other. Minus dP by ds into ds into dA minus rho dA ds g cos theta. I suppose you are able to follow what I am saying, sir. Why I am subtracting? I have told you this, why I am subtracting it. Now, the difference TH is the difference between heights at B and A. A and B are not, this is not perfectly flat. This is not perfectly horizontal. There is a difference in heights between A and B. And therefore, let me rub this off. Let DH be the difference in heights between A and B. If DH is the difference in heights between A and B, I will write cos theta is the adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is length ds. Okay? Adjacent side, hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is length. We have already taken length as ds. Is that okay to you? If that is okay to you, I keep the diagram. I will rub this part off. Let me rub this part off. Therefore, the resultant force on the element, what I am going to do is substitute for cos theta here in this equation. That's what I am going to do. Resultant force, let me call it as F minus dP by ds into ds into dA minus rho dA ds g into d. In the place of cos theta, dH by ds. So I can strike off a ds and a ds, and I will get only that much, rho dA g into dH. Okay. Now, if I take or if I consider the velocity of the element or a velocity of the liquid in the element AB as v, if v is the velocity of the element AB of liquid, okay, then its acceleration is, let me rub this off. The acceleration is rate of change of velocity dv by dt. This can be written as velocity as ds by dt into dv by ds. ds by dt is velocity, and therefore I write it as v into dv by ds. No harm writing like this. No harm writing like this. Okay. Therefore, from Newton's second law of motion, from Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma. In the place of a, I can substitute that. Okay, fine. Now what do I do here? What do I do here? I am going to substitute for F and then m. Okay, mass and then acceleration. Now if you look into the previous statement wherein we have said resultant force of the element is minus dp by ds into ds into dA minus rho dA dH into G. That is what we have written for resultant force. And if you look at the mass of the element we have written as rho dA ds. Okay, mass of the element we have written it as rho dA into ds. The acceleration is v dv by ds. I suppose you are able to follow what I am saying, sir. Now if you look carefully at this expression, you have a dA everywhere that can be struck off. This dA will vanish. Then this ds if it vanishes, I am ending up with a minus dp. d has already gone, minus rho g into dh, am I right, is equal to rho dA has already gone, ds will go off to give me v dv. Is that okay to you, sir? Is that okay to you? Now let me rub this part I will rub off. This part I will rub off so that I will rewrite this equation as dp plus rho g dh. If I multiply by a minus sign throughout, this will become plus, this will become plus, this will become minus, and if it is brought this side, then this will be equal to minus rho v dv. Just I have multiplied by a minus sign throughout. From this equation I have come here. Now sir, what I am going to do is divide this expression throughout by rho g. Therefore, dividing by rho g throughout, rho g, if divided by rho g, this is going to be dh. Okay, if I bring this side plus v dv, I am going to divide by rho g. Rho will get cancelled. Therefore, I will get g is equal to a 0. I repeat once again what I have said here. From Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma. Previously, I have derived given an expression for resultant force. This is the expression for resultant force. Rho dA into ds is mass. V dv by ds is acceleration. I have substituted. Throughout dA is there. This dA will go off. This ds will go off. This ds will go off to give me minus dp minus rho g dh is equal to rho v dv. This expression I am multiplying by minus sign throughout. Therefore, I get dp plus rho g dh is equal to minus rho v dv. This expression I am dividing throughout by rho g. If I divide by rho g, dp by rho g plus rho g goes off to give me dh plus this is brought this side, therefore it's a plus v dv. I am dividing by rho g, rho goes off, only g is there equal to 0. This expression dp by rho g plus dh plus v dv by g is equal to 0 is my